because they want to and because they feel like it's the best thing for themselves. And I feel like it's an issue. I've been talking about a lot of things on my channels, on my social media channels, and I kind of let it be like out there and known, like the majority of the time, because I feel like it's such like it's so much social things with this and that is going on and stuff, and I feel like I have to like state it, because I feel like a lot of times it can be just like a lot of just like I guess drama or confusion or people just trying to pull people into like very like old forms of understanding and older forms of communicating and relationships between people. So I want to say that it's a good thing that when you have a friend or somebody who has the when they want to come out and say, hey, oh, I've been through whatever and things and I want to transition to become another gender. It's crossed my mind a couple times, but I don't really want to. And I don't really see the outcome like on the other side as it being like some amazing, anything. So I just wanted to say that um I just wanted to say that in today's society where people, especially like I'm always speaking for me because I feel like if you do transition into like a full blown, what I'm saying, woman and you felt like you could not live your life, like you just you had dysphoria and you had like all these depression, you don't deserve to have to live like that. That's fine that you went and you took it upon yourself and you had the strength to go and move forward in that direction and to for you to live, your full um your full just like doing everything that you wanted to do with yourself to make yourself not what I'm saying, a miserable person. Good for you. So yeah, me being born a woman and then having the surgery that I had, which was a full hysterectomy at like 12 and a half. And I just want to say that people, I'm not like a normal person. Like, I feel like maybe there was a lot going on that I just never really identified that close. I had a little slight dysphoria when I was in that age group and when I was about 10. And then when I was about 11, it was a slight dysphoria. And you guys just don't really understand that I was, how many viewers? I have a lot of viewers. Okay, so yeah, you guys just, I'm just talking on the beach. We had a call that for all our police departments here have the FBI's notice that there is a significant issue with um, airstrikes, which are possible for the Bay Area, which I'm in right now. And I didn't run because I heard the news last night, and I had to go on YouTube because we didn't have it on our news. You guys, I live at a shelter up the street, and so yeah, the governor of San Francisco is really talking about it a lot, and I've been sitting here for a little while, and I've been living in this area for I don't know, like a year, 1 year total. So I live up the street. This is Alameda Beach, but San Francisco's like right there. And um, he give you guys a view. So I've been, kind of careful about everything I've been talking about and displaying just because of the fact that it is, it's gotten like that serious. And I just decided to come sit down, put my live on, talk about transgender people's rights, um, and just human rights and things that are going on, um, in this the life that we are experiencing. And I want to talk about my own experience with dysphoria and um, also if you just like totally unaware, you should do a very quick Google search for um, LGBTQ in nature. So it kind of just like totally ends the argument because a lot of people they have this um, this pre-taught thing that God has a really disgust for people who are LGBTQ. And I'm even talking about dual gendered individuals too. So not just the fact that we have people who want to transition from male to female, back and forth, stop, turn around, all that stuff. Anyway, yeah, if you go ahead and Google it, LGBTQ in nature is in our plants. It's in like most plants that we eat. It's just natural. It's in there. We have plants that are um, what do you call it? They are dual gendered, trans, not, probably not trans, but how does it go? The plants are, it's either they're dual gendered, asexual, so on, and some other things. Like it's definitely in the LGBTQ. So you do have male and female plants, by the way. You do. Like a flower has to put the pollen on such and such to grow, on the other what you call it, just so it can grow. And that's the airplane up there, if you guys can see, if it's not too much sun. So yeah, we have normal things going on over here. Normal, which are normal flights, normal, stuff like that. But yeah, I was born a woman, I was born a full woman. Um, and unfortunately I lost, well, I don't know if it was fortunate or unfortunate, really. So yeah, I lost my reproductive organ when I was like 12 and a half, and I had cancer on it. So whoop de doo, right? Because for me, it was just that I had, like I mentioned earlier, I had dysphoria. I had it really bad. And I probably should go back to the like psychiatry, but that's what I'm saying. The argument is literally that people feel like they have so much interesting input to put into, people who choose and who are doing those types of lifestyle, when you can't argue anymore after you Google it. And the Google results are going to tell you that it's in plants, it's in animals, and it's in everything. So you have, for this is a great example, is a flatworm, which is a transgendering flatworm. So it goes from male, they're mostly born male, and so they have a huge penis on this flatworm, and they get into a fight when they're in their puberty, and they're mating. So they get in a fight with their penises, and they're trying the one of them has to knock the other penis off, and it breaks off. And I'm not kidding. Go look it up. So that's transgendering right there. When the penis gets knocked off, the one who loses and gets their penis knocked off is the woman. So that explains it, is that's transgender right there. That is homosexuality, literally, when they're knocking each other's penises off. That is, they're fencing with their penises. And it's in the ocean, matter of fact. It's in there. And it's probably way at the bottom. But it's homosexual activity in the form where they're touching each other's penises on each other. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? It is. It's LGBTQ, and it's in everything. And you just don't look it up, and people don't teach it in school, and it's like driving the world crazy. Bad SHIT, because nobody is paying attention to what we really are, what we're really doing. And it didn't even take me to have to look it up, but because I took a wild guess. Yes, we have plants that are LGBTQ. They're all weird. That's just how they are. So the fact that we have so many people who get so strange and bestranged is just kind of silly, because we're not being educated. Nobody goes to school. Literally, you don't learn anything. And how many people have told you that, during your lifetime? Like, people have joked at me like that. But yes, when you go and you actually go get some real books and you start reading, then your education starts. Because when you go to school, no, they're just there to just give you a lunch, and let you go on the playground pretty much. And you don't learn um, half of the things you learn when you go to college, and you actually take time to read for yourself. Besides that, we have, what other animals are just like, that is probably the most strangest one. That one, I was talking about the flatworm, that I've observed, but it's in so many things. Then you have asexuality, which is just something making itself impregnated. It doesn't require a man, but it's just doing it on its own. It's just reproducing and things like that. So why are we all so in a bunch about what when you witness a human being? It's just kind of silly, actually. So just um, it is. It's kind of actually really silly when you're really thinking about it. And the violence that happens and the disputes that happen over just because of that topic, because nobody's really understands. And when you try to put God involved and say, hey, God puts that in an abomination because there was a person who wrote a book, right? So that's King James. We have King James published that version of the Bible. We have reproduced it massively, but those are human hands, and it could have been some holy involvement in some stories off of some miracles, but otherwise it was King James. That's his book. It's the King James version. You have the apostolic version. You have so many versions. The um you know um whoever there's so such and such whoever version, but those people came through. Whoever is giving you that book wrote that book, okay? So they're doing it for their benefit. Put two and two together. Those whoever you're getting the book from, some of it, I think that there was a Moses at some time and stuff, but I don't think that there was there's a lot of things that were just written in there because, hey, if you're the king, James, you're king, you want to control your people, you're going to have to put something together to control your masses of people, and that's most likely the truth. So even I had to come to that understanding that some of that might be real in there, like some of the stories. And mind you, that book is about people from Egypt and from Israel, and there are black people in Israel long time ago. And what does that have to do with everybody else? It's their history. Why are we all, who cares about it? This is America. I'm Native American. What does that have to do with everybody else? I don't really know. It seems like we're just fighting for no reason, just for silly things that we don't have full knowledge about. San Francisco's fine. You see these things. If you see that white stripe going up, that happens 24/7. So it's like we kind of not freaking out about that at all. Right there goes the what you call it, airplane right there. Let me know if you have any questions. Please go Google it, because uh it's really literally silly. So yeah, worms, I think they're asexual, I think. So it's either they're asexual or I think they just mutate out of their skin and asexuality. So yeah, like, why are we freaking out? Worms are everywhere. Yeah, the ground is like, there's billions and trillions. There's like trillions of worms everywhere. And the soil, what are we freaking out over? Is the question. We're being dumbed down, really. That's the educational system here in America. I would I really would say that. And I think it's trash. So that's just trash. Um, and to say that God, if whatever God and whoever pertaining to God doesn't like it, why is it everywhere then? Why is it in everything? So I've been talking about that a lot on my channels. And I want to talk about that right now. Just going on about um, how much I don't think women are disgusting who are transgender. They come from men, they come from a man's, life, and then they transition over. Um, if you also follow me, I have been getting into a homosexual lifestyle for myself, and um, I was in a relationship for 5 years. It'd be like, yeah, like 5 years in June, and I was in one, and we were having a break, and the girl I was with is she needs a lot of breaks, so she needs a lot of resetting, and there's so much miseducation going on. The president doesn't give a care. Sometimes I think about writing him a letter, but I don't feel, what, writing him a letter telling him not to ban or try to ban anything LGBTQ, because he has a policy of no, what do you call it, flags at the White House. But sometimes I feel like writing him, and then I'm just like, he doesn't seem like the type of person to want to listen to anybody. And that has literally stopped me for like the past 2.5 weeks from, because I have a letter from Donald Trump somewhere in my archives. He's written me back pertaining to things, and um, you can get a response from the White House, and you can get a signed letter from him, which I actually had one. I can't remember what we were talking about. Yeah. So, yeah, you can get a response, and I have faith in that process to tell him that, hey, you're just uneducated, like most people are uneducated, and it doesn't make any sense for you to be making all these regulations when he wants to do the right thing, I guess. It's I guess people are trying to do to the most, I don't know, to the extent of their, understanding and knowledge, they want to do the right thing. So yeah, I'm just blessed because I've gone off on different paths, and I don't have all the money in the world or the resources, but I use what I had, and now I know because I've read books that what is really going on in this world that we have here, and that is totally wrong and hateful and stupid to just be so anti LGBTQ, really. Because I have friends and family who would have been on the other side, have been, oh yeah, let's go get those people. Like I've had that, which has held me back from actual relationships and um most things, and actually paying attention to myself and what where I want to do and what I want to be and stuff like that. And I wish it wasn't like this. I wish it was never this way, so but now if you're I don't know, looking paying more attention to those stories. The beach here is gorgeous. I It's like a tan colored sand. And I'm gonna look at the screen in a few minutes. The Coast Guard was out here. They are here all the time. So um, they were here. Look at the screen. Hey, hey, disgusting. Why would you teach that in school? Hi, hi. I have an answer. Why would I teach that in school? Because it's the truth. And if you're not, 12 years old, you should have an understanding that, it's we live in a world where things should be more compromising and stuff like that. I'm sorry that you feel it is. God is disgusting, because we just discussed that. That there's no way you could separate God uh from nature, right? So if you think that is disgusting, it's kind of an immature answer. So I don't really care. It's always going to be there. So unfortunately, your comment is totally understandable, but at the same time, I just have to tell it like it is. So I don't really know. You sound like you're like really young. So sorry, kind of not sorry. I mean, it is what it is. Are you going to go look it up? Because you should be going educate yourself besides just making comments on my videos. Okay. So that's more important, that you actually have understanding about how things work and how things are everywhere that you go. Okay. So I don't have it offended. I'm not offended by any of that. It's just that you come to my channel, now you have an education, and now you hate it. Sorry. Kind of not sorry. Okay. So now you know. There you go. Okay. All right. Do you understand that? So, um, that it just has to be what it is, and you can't there's nothing anybody can do about those types of things. Okay. All right. There you go. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to say, put that out there. So how people are, they don't want to know anything, right? They don't want to see the world for how it is. They want to live in different types of versions of the world. That's what they want. What do you want me to do? Apologize because the creator put these flowers are yellow and sticking out of the ground? Like, what do you want for me to apologize for that? Like, what is your problem? It is there, It's there. This is the beach, and It's just there. So what, I don't know, what do you want me to do about all that? Okay? Besides giving you a real, you know what I'm saying? Like people, a lot of people don't like me too because I'll tell them that we have different DNAs, and my grandmother was a nurse, and so obviously I know that you can't mix certain DNAs with certain blood types because the people would get sick. Oh, but hey, this is their argument. You're racist because you don't believe that we can all mix our DNAs together because that's racist. It's science. Yeah, I'm not being any mean person. I'm just telling you because it's better for all that you cannot mix certain DNA forms. So I'm a bad person because I'm telling you that you're going to die if you mix the A and O blood type. And if you put the transfusion in the wrong person, that makes me a horrible person. Excuse me? Like you're just out of your mind. You're clearly out of your dang mind. Okay, so there you go. You don't like what I have to say because it has actual facts and science behind it. That's completely crazy. You're out of your mind. That's it. Goodness gracious. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break. I've had nurses and doctors in my you know what I'm saying, in my family for the longest of times. What are you getting upset at me for? Because it's real? Because I didn't tell you a bedtime story with some teddy bears in it. Like, wake up, grow up. This is reality. Don't come argue with me over things that are just fact based. Just don't do that. That's ridiculous. Please don't do that. Okay. So yeah, like really, just please don't do those types of things. You live in the real world. Get an education. A real is education versus silly and SpongeBob. Okay, you're adults. Stop playing with me like this crap. Okay, understand, understood. Please don't do that. Don't do that around me specifically. Okay. So that's really what I have to say. Okay. I'm not apologizing for anything I just said either, by the way. Unless you're freaking 12 years old, you should understand that everything I just said comes from a specific educational point. Don't come at me from any other way. Okay. I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that. I'm not sorry at all. Okay. So anyway, like what I was saying and what I was stating and everything like that, if you can't handle the level of topic, then get the freak out of here. If you can't handle the level of the topic, what I wanted to bring up or whatever, you can click off of this damn video. That's what the heck you can do. You can get the hell up out of here. Because I'm not about to do anything else up here about anything else I had said or anything I will say in this video, unless you're freaking, like I said, unless you're 11 years old and your brain cannot freaking handle what I said. Otherwise, you had better absorb it, and you had better move along in life with these things. Unbelievable. Excuse me. Like you people don't have mannerisms. You need somebody to teach you that too. Like, give me a break. It is what it is. And like I said, people would get mad at you and mad at me and tell me I'm a racist. I told that to somebody one time. They said you're racist because you don't believe that we can blend our bloodlines together in a blood transfusion. In a doctor's office, that's illegal to do that to somebody on because it's your blood a DNA type, and you're not supposed to mix all of them together. Like, I've had two people look at me very, very sideways and said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe that you're this and that," and that sounds mostly racist. Get an education. Like, really, really, gosh, seriously though. Anyway, I have to go to the bathroom, but I was saying what the heck I had to say was that I don't have a problem with those types of people, and that I actually am open to dating those types of people, which I have opened up myself to date more of those types of people because I myself had a phase where people were trying to teach me and tell me and show me these other types of reasons why I needed to really dislike or really be against or just mostly just be like really straight or whatever and stuff like that. And now it doesn't make any sense. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And to top it off, you can't make a person do nothing, okay? The truth is you can't make a person. So when I want to say something or do something, I'm going to do, and that's how I feel about it. and things like that, and it makes enough sense. It sure does. It makes enough sense for you know for me to really put it out there, or to say something about the topic. So I'm doing better. That's really what the point is. Bay Farm is over there. I'm doing better. Got it. It looks so neat, like the island over there, but it's an island. I think that's the beach and the rocks. Like I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I'm doing better. I feel like I am because it just makes a lot more sense. Um, putting things together, and um, the books of the Bible and everything. The people seem to get like really on edge or just fussy or something because yeah, the whole entire book is about Africa. It's about Egypt, then you go to switch over to Israel. Like what is wrong with people? Like it is. So what does it have to do like literally what does it have to do with me if I'm from Ecuador, or if I'm from anywhere else except for that territory. Those books are all of those books are about people in those regions. So why is that such a big deal? Why is it such a huge deal for somebody like me from my origin, right? Like I have black people in my family, but they're not like 99.9% everything like who I am and where I'm from. They're just not. So I don't even know. Like I don't understand that about people. And then they're okay, you're this and that of a person because of such and such of Christ. Like you're just really people are really confusing. They really are. Like, yeah. So they're really confusing about everything. Like everybody has like this weird, I guess they all think they're really black or something, like from Africa. Like, I don't know. Like everybody thinks they're they're really they're really the sons and daughters of Ishmael and Moses and all that. Like they really, really are convinced that that book is just like smack dab on their bloodline, like and their people and everything else like that. So I just finished my soup. This stuff is so good, and I finished my soup up. And so yeah, so far so good. You can go look up the story. It is on YouTube. It's the governor of San Francisco. So they are um, talking about the issues what they had been having. And there was a person I was talking to, and he said it. He said it that no, it's probably just our own people who want money and they want us to fund a war. And they're probably going to make it look like they are having an enemy here, when in actuality, it's just them, and it's our own people, and they want more money. So they're going to make it look like there's a big reason for them to have da 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 da. Therefore, they can get paid. I was talking to somebody, and they kind of hit the nail on the head, which I was kind of shocked because I didn't know people were paying attention like that hard. And I didn't know that they were paying attention. That is another airplane. The over there, that direction is the airport. So I don't know. It's those hills like way out there. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I didn't go that far into San Francisco, um, so I don't really know. Um, but yeah, I'm going to clean myself up and get up in a few minutes and retreat to the restroom for a short break. It's Sunday, and um, yeah, I didn't know what to do last night. So yeah, we were all. It was like 9:30 at the shelter, and we heard like this loud crashing, loud. It sounded like bombs and guns going off, and we were in our building, and we were in the church building, and I went outside. Well, I actually ran outside, and I asked one of the guys who was smoking a cigarette, and eating ice cream. And he was like, yeah, um, it sounded like it was coming from here and there. So he pointed both directions, to like the far left and the far right of the islands around here. And wow, it was like it had my heart racing. And I was brushing my teeth upstairs, and the window was slightly ajar, right? And um, um, I heard it, and so I was just like, either something's coming or something was like already going down, and um, you couldn't see any like lights, like big, explosion lights. You just couldn't see anything. Looking through the darkness, that was the one thing I was looking for. But I saw the glow of the city, like kind of far off. So, yeah. Okay, I got one viewer left. Um, the viewer, I got one viewer. Okay, so, um, oh wow. Okay, okay, the live chat. I'm just not. I'm just seeing. You could play a video game, and yeah, see like that and that. This guy, the colors just changed on my screen. All right, so this chat has gotten like really like quiet and stuff, and um, it's gotten like really stale. Sorry, I'm screaming at you. I'm so sorry, you guys. I am so sorry. You just have to just bear with me. I shouldn't have screamed into the microphone. Sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But I was actually about to get up, and yeah, my ankles are just like really weak. So all right. Thank you for all your support. I'm a writer if you've never been on this channel, and I was interesting story. I was raised in the artsy area of Oakland, and I'm kind of a Anastasia story. So we were raised in this really fancy, upscale, higher class, and um, society, and we fled. So you could have just about imagined how tired I am of picking up and packing and leaving and running from whatever. So yeah, this story literally was the cases of Michael Jackson. Unfortunately, I haven't been holding back at all talking about it. So they were doing the abductions for kids, and they were. I was about 2 years old, and they were doing, like the child whatever's, and Michael Jackson case came out I think in '88. So we were here, and we were actually in his circle of friends, and we left, my dad and my mom, and we went to the middle of nowhere. And so yeah, that's my life story. So I've had no, wait a minute. I was about 7 when we left. Okay, so big old scratch on that. I was 7 years old, and we were in Oakland, and back then, Black people, they were very wealthy and prominent, and we had a lot of people on TV who we were like, best friendsies, and I had a lot of celebrity best friendsies who were my little kid friends too, right? So, anyways, we left, and I am not like upset about because we left. It was just so horrible. And if you go look up, I see Salt and Peppa, the top um, performer, Peppa, she's talking about everything that goes on and has always went on per children in the industry of entertainment. So she hit it on she hit the nail on the head, and she's talking about it because it's better to let things out than leave them inside. So she's talking about it, and she talks about everything that we were going through and the way children were treated back then and now. And I don't usually stay quiet about it because suppression is depression, and you don't hold things inside for your own sake, and stuff like that. And I'm okay. But yeah, the point is that I am okay and I'm an adult and I am an entertainer right now. I wrote a book, I wrote a couple books, and I wrote fiction, and what else do I do? I'm a part-time actress. Um what else? I don't sing that much. Um what else? Well, I do like a lot of like entertainment type stuff, and I I never really cut that harsh ties, I guess, with the celebrities or whatever and stuff. So it is just like my normal social group. Yeah. So anyway, um, yeah, we're just trying to like live and be okay and things like that. And um, that's really how it is. So, and I like people to treat me like a normal person. um, I really, really love that. I like to be treated like the most normal, not celebrity, if you ever come across me, because I don't like it. That's just how I am. And I'm not ashamed of that. But yeah, just for the purposes of making money, I actually got back into um, uh, the entertainment industries, which I think from my point of view, like, they're okay. Like, anyway, so tired of the sad stories and stuff like that. And yeah, the drama stories and, stuff like that. Hopefully, things can be okay everywhere we go and with everything we do. And, um, we can all just like, live in peace, stuff like that. I'm going to go to the center up the street and go use the bathroom. And be blessed, everyone. Be very blessed. Um, have a peaceful day. Have a peaceful evening. And I've been talking a lot about things that mean a lot to me, and I really hope to share and connect with people. Um, but yeah, doing things with my gender and sexuality is very fun, and I find it to be very fun. So yeah, that's the other thing is like notice anything like what I'm doing, and I wrote like a couple LGBTQ like adult fiction and stuff, and it is like if you don't think that you're missing out, or you're curious about anything, I'm telling you the truth that we're having a lot of fun. So we are. It's things that'll make you like put a spark in your life. So just to make things like I try to give people tools to have arguments, because we live in a world where people they are there's a lot of things going on with a lot of people. So if you're wondering about anything, or if you feel kind of depressed or sad or anything, and you're having a hard time like accepting who you are or anything, please don't be like that. Just know that there's a lot of resources, there's a lot of ways you can go. And one of those ways for me was like I wanted to stay in the city. So I did, because the countryside, the other part of the story with me and my family was my father. He wanted to marry a woman. That was all his life choices, and it was a man and a woman. So look, that's completely fine and beautiful. It is. But people should respect other types of people's like lives. For me, like I think there needs to be more. So the city is more for weirdos, which you could put it, it's more for LGBTQ, and it is. But what he did was, when I was 7, he took off with me as his child, and he went to the countryside with his wife. It was him and her. So I have total respect for somebody who wants to live like that. But it's like, please respect other people who are living in the city. Like what we're doing, we're so, out there and forward thinking. We're not trying to, what I mean, like housewives. We're not trying to go in that direction, and we should have respect for each other, and respect other people's, lifestyles and things, and not keep on trying to like put the other person down. And but I am really blessed. Like I'm really blessed to have found that no, that's impossible to claim that LGBTQ is bad. That's impossible when it is everywhere. And it's in these plants, and it's in the dirt, it's in the asexual worms, it's in the transgender gay worms, it's in those, it's everywhere. It's in these birds, it's everywhere, you know. Birds are asexual. They produce eggs on their own. They have husbands just because God wants them to, right? So the women, they could probably live on their own because they make things themselves. They don't need a dual, a form of making an offspring, but they do because God, once again, I think that God, the creator, said there's supposed to be, you're not supposed to be alone, and things like that. So there it is, right? But that doesn't mean that everybody else is bad because, uh, you know, because doesn't that doesn't even make sense. Like, you people are not even making any sense anymore. So I'm just gonna be putting that out there. I've been talking about putting it all over my channels. And still, I still feel this lingering thing that people really just want to control your life. Like, they're just like, hey, you're this and you're going to do this and you should do this, and we have to try to like coerce you a little bit more to be what in this way, and the Bible is good, and traditional Catholicism, and get in this category, and please do that, and please wear dresses, and so on and stuff like that. Like, please stop it. Okay, this is ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. You don't even have an argument anymore. You don't even have any more facts or just anything. And like I said, the Bible was a King James move. He was a controller and he was a ruler. So of course he's going to put in there, worship me and do what what I'm saying, do these things because it benefits my kingdom. Okay, so I'm just saying King James, but it's like all the other versions of the Bible too, right? And stuff like that, and things with Jesus and stuff like that. And it's the argument is just, it gets dead and over. So I need it to just go away. So I come to my channels and I talk about things um that make things lighter and better and good and stuff like that. So, oh, that looks like a freaking missile right there, you guys. You see that thing off in the distance? Look at the stream. You see that? But that's an airplane right there. It does. It looks like it came from the back. It does. It really looks like it. It's headed for San Francisco. So, um, either it'll drop and it'll, blow up something, or it'll just not be that. So I can't tell what it is. But yeah, we're just hoping and wishing really at this point. Um, you know. So I don't know. I really have to go to the bathroom. Thank you guys for your dropping in, and I hope something I said really stuck with anybody who has, anything else to say about anybody else's life choices and things. And I'm really sorry, for not knowing sooner. I wish I had understood, you know, just being, real. It's because science always beats most arguments when you come in with things that are a fact, and that you have loads of evidence and loads of proof and loads of, documented evidence and files of, proof where you can pull all this stuff together. All right, guys. Wow, look at this thing. It's going down. I don't know. It looks like it's going. Uh, I don't know. I don't know where it came from. Wow. Yeah. But anyways, hopefully it'll be okay, right? So I don't see anything else. It's this long stream over there. If you can see that behind that building, it's like way back there. Yeah, it's like way back there. Yeah, the things. And going over there, it looks like it's going into the mountains. Anyways, you know. All right, I'm going to use it. I gotta go. And like I said, people can be like, I always feel just like people try to attack me, right? And they try, and they always they have this never ending lust for blood, honestly, because it's you don't have any more things. You can't come at me anymore, and they just never quit. It's like, I don't know, but anyways, That's definitely how I feel and see the picture and see things, you know, right? So yeah, like people do what they, live how they need to live. And that should be the priority, is people being healthy, and um, not gatekeeping, because that would be me gatekeeping, right? If I would just like not, you know, talk about things that I have found and things that I have learned. So, okay, I am going to get up. Okay, bye.